So today I'm going to be breaking down an automation I built in N10 that handles real-time claim intake and data extraction. Let's just hop right into it and I show you how it works. So for instance, let's say you have a claim application that you want to send to an insurance company. It carries the name of the claimant, the policy details, policy number, information regarding the incident, and also attached images and PDF. So once you send this to the company's mail, let's execute this workflow so we see how it runs. Basically fetches the email, classifies it to know if it's an email regarding claims. It gets the message with attachments, and if the attachment is included, it uploads it to Google Drive, and then goes to another step that extracts the customer's information, the policy number, name, and all of that, generates a claim ID and saves it into a Google Sheet spreadsheet, which then sends the claim back to the customer, letting them know and also notifying the team. So if you look at the Google Drive where the pictures were saved to, you can see the pictures were already saved to the Google Drive. And also if you look at the Slack messages that was being sent at the end, it lets the team know that this person, Chief Ola Ademo, has sent in his claim information. You can see that the claimant's information has been added, the claim ID, the name, email, phone number, and every other valuable information, as well as the URL for the attachment that was saved in Google Drive. So now let's just break down how we built the exact workflow. And we're going to start off with the Gmail trigger. So the Gmail trigger is set to run every 5 minutes. This is a cron expression. First of all, you can run it every minute, every hour, every day, or maybe just the custom time. And the custom time I set for it is every 5 minutes. The reason why I set it like that is because I don't want it to run every minute, because let's say we are on a free trial and we have a limited amount of executions. It will burn out if you're always running it every minute. If you are executing it every minute, it will run out within a short period of time. So I set it to 5 minutes so it doesn't really run out fast. And you just simplify the inputs and it brings in the message regarding the claim. You can see it right here as who is from, subject, and every other information about the email. So when we are sure that we are getting the email in N10, the next node is a text classifier node. And what this does is that you feed it with the subject and the email body. As you can see here, this is the email body. You just map it in here, and the subject, which we can equally map in here. And then we also add a category for it as claim. So it categorizes it as these are emails regarding claims and claim application or processes. And the second category will be routine enquiries, any email regarding customer support or general FAQs. And essentially what this node is supposed to do is to go over the subject and the email body to decipher which category does this email fall under. Does it fall under claims, or it falls under general FAQs or routine enquiries? In this case, it's under claims, so you follow the claim branch right here. That's like up this route. And then the next node that comes on the claim branch is the label as claim. So we want to add a label to that email. If you hop into the inbox, the business inbox, you can see this is the most recent claim application and it labeled it as claim. If you look at the label on the left hand, you can see there's a label for claims, there's a label for customer support. So if it's regarding claim, it automatically labels it as claim. That's why we have this node right here. So if you click on this node, you can, after you add your credentials, your Gmail accounts, the message ID, you can map it from the text classifier node or from the Gmail trigger, just to show the exact message that we want to label, and just select the label as claims. Once you have already created the label in Gmail, you just add a label, and in real time it will show in your anything as the claim label. So you just select that, and yeah, it will automatically label the email that came in as clean. So when you are sure that it's done that, the next node is that you want to get the actual message along with the attachment in the message. So you saw that the initial step is just to trigger it whenever a new email comes in. This get message, you just want to get that exact message along with any attachment that was sent with it. So as the same way, you also map in the ID, the message ID, you map it into this field. And then you click on options, and then you see the option to download attachments. If this was off, you just come to this option, click on download attachments, and just flick it on. And then when you execute it, you see that to bring in this attachment, any attachment that is with it will come in like this. So if you check the schema, that's like every of the email content along with the attachment. That's what that node does. So the other node after is an if node, and basically what this is meant to do is meant to say if the content of the email has an attachment, mark it as true. So we had to put it like as a binary, because in anything, any file that is either a PNG or a PDF is always named as a binary file. So that's what they call binary files in anything. So you can simply just write it in the code of double quotation. Once I delete this, I could just put this double quotes, and I just put the $ binary. That's the variable. So literally what I'm trying to say is that if the PDF contains the word attachment, the reason why I use this is because typically the PDFs, the names are always saved as attachments. So if it just has the word attachment in it, that means you mark it as a true branch. So that's why it marked it as true. And this next code step is meant to rename the file. So you can see there are more than one attachment. There are 3 attachments here. And if you can look at the title, you can see it's labeled as attachment _0, attachment _1, attachment _2. But the thing is, if you were just not to use this code node at all, and you were just mapping it straight to upload the file, you can't, in the input data field name, this has to be the name of the file, and the file that you want to impute into Google Drive. And you can see that the name of the file that was there before was attachment _0, attachment _1. You can see that like it's basically 3 different names that is there, and you can't dynamically impute the name in Google file as attachment _1, attachment _2. So you have to use a like just a single name. So essentially the reason for this code node is to rename this file, rename all this file from attachment 01, attachment 02 to straight name of file. So you just want to put it just as that. And essentially how we got this code is that you just hop into ChatGPT. You can essentially say, I would like to transport the inputs coming from the Gmail node in anything to change the name from attachments of the attachment or binary file to the named file for upload on the Google Drive. I want a code step to do that. And basically ChatGPT will just generate a code that you can just copy and paste it into that code step. When you execute it, it gives you something of like an output like this. If it doesn't give you the exact output, you can just copy the error message that is here into GPT and keep prompting it till it gives you the right code that gives you the output that you're looking for. So that's essentially that. And then you can now come to this upload file node, and you can simply, there are certain options you can choose here, but in this case I want to upload the file, so I clicked on that, and the file name is file. As you can see, all the 3 files renamed to file, so literally just type the file name here. And for the file name that was to be saved with in Google Drive, we want the original attachment key, that's the attachment _0. and also a timestamp, which all of this we had code. We just literally click the double quote $sign now. That's basically the current time. So we'll to save it as this exact name in the Google Drive, so to be easy to reference. And you just select the folder and everything, and then once it has you now execute step, and once you execute, once it has saved, it saves it into, you can say save it as attachment 01, attachment 02, and basically the attachment name, that's what it saved it as. And then after that the next node after uploading file is aggregate, because you see there are 3 images that was sent in, and because there were 3 images that were sent in, is coming in as is outputting as 3 items, and we can't just map it straight as 3 items into the agents the LLM chain. So we have to like merge those 3 items to make it just one output right here, just one item output. So basically this aggregate steps merges those 3 items from the Google Drive node into one item. So you're just naming it as data include all fields, and when you execute it, it merges it as one item. And with that, you can now add an LLM chain that you can literally feed it the same subject and the email, and prompt it to extract the relevant information and return it as valid JSON object with the following fields: customer name, email, phone number, policy number, message, the attachment URL. Now we got it from the Google Drive. So basically, once it's the Google Drive has already uploaded the files, once you've uploaded the files to Google Drive, there's a web content link where you can use to view the file. So you just literally map it into the attachment URL, so that once it's saved in the Google Sheets, anybody that is reading through the Google Sheets can easily view the attachments that was sent with it. So after you have done that, you have put the JSON fields just how you want it to be output. You now give it instruction to fill each field with the exact information found. Use the date format like this for date of loss. If any field is missing in the document, just leave it as an empty string. Return only valid JSON, no extra text, explanation or comments. So once you've done that, you select required output format, because you want it to be output in this way. You don't want it to just be output as a whole bunch of text together. You want it like this so that you can easily map them into the Google Sheets spreadsheet later. So give it a system prompt telling it you're an expert insurance claim extractor, and then of course we select our model, which is GPT-4.1 mini, and also a structured output parser. So this is just meant to give it a defined output to make sure that it comes out as this exact output, like this JSON output. This is how it should come out as. I will select autofix format, and then when we run it, we should be getting an output that looks exactly like this: the customer name separate, email separate, phone number, policy number, the message, the attachment URL, and the date it was submitted. And with that, you can now come to the next node that is supposed to generate a dynamic claim ID. And just like we did with the other rename field node, the code node earlier, we could just hop in ChatGPT and simply just type I want to use the code node to generate dynamic claim ID. The input from the LLM chain is with this info. I just literally went back to Anything. I switched to JSON here, and I just copied the input from the LLM chain and let the ChatGPT know that what I wanted to do, this input, I want to generate a dynamic claim and ID from this input. So doing that, it gives me a code that I can just simply copy and I can paste in here, and when I execute it, you see that from that output you now have a claim ID that is generated for you, a dynamic claim ID for referencing. And then I now have a Google Sheet node that appends or updates rows. So I'll now select the sheet, claim intake, the sheet, the first sheet, and column to match on, I put claim ID, because this column to match on basically means of all the info that is being saved into the sheet, there has to be one info that is not the same as others. So for instance, like everybody has the same name, everybody has the same phone number, or possibly the same message, but what they don't have is the claim ID cannot be the same. Since it's dynamic, every claim ID is different. So if you want to reference to which person sent which claim, you use the claim ID. So that's why we're using column to match on as claim ID. And so we just put it as that. So we mapped in everything. When we switch to schema, you can just map in the claim ID to this field, customer name to this field, the email, phone number, just map it into their respective fields, attachment URL as well. And then when you execute it, you can see that the output came out like this. So that means that it was all added to the sheets here. So after I execute, everything just adds to the sheets just like this. So from there, we now add another node, a Gmail node, reply node, that replies back to the customer. So the message ID, we just map it in here. The message ID, you can either get it from the Gmail trigger or the get message. You just map the ID. And email type text, not HTML. HTML, the text format will be kind of messy, so we just want it as normal text. And we are going to write hello, customer name. You can just simply map it in here. So you just say thank you for notifying us of the incident. Your claim has been successfully logged and is now under review. Claim reference is the claim ID and the policy number, which you can either map here. Our claim team will review the details and contact you if any additional information is required. Regards the claim team. So that message, and also afterwards you now remove the append anything attribution. If this wasn't here, you just simply come to options, append anything attribution, and put it off, because you don't want obviously like the anything trademark underneath the email saying hi, this was sent with anything automation blah blah blah. You don't want to promote their product, so you just simply leave that as off. And basically once you execute this node, you send a reply back to the customer letting them know that their info has been logged in. So if you come to the inbox, you can see that this was the reply. Thank you for notifying us about the incident, claim reference number, policy number. Immediately reply was sent immediately back to the customer. And then from there you are also adding another node as well, a Slack node, to also notify the team via Slack that an insurance claim has been logged in, customer's name, the email, phone number, the policy number, submitted on, the claim summary, attachments, so that they can view this thing. Next step is to review claim details, verify documents, and contact customer if required. So this is basically like the preview of the message that will be sent to the Slack. So once you execute that, this is the message that comes in to the Slack channel to notify the team that the customer's details were just logged into the spreadsheet, like a claim intake just came in. So that's that for the claim intake and extraction workflow. Then we have the customer support enquiries aspect. Imagine if it's an email regarding general inquiry that just simply says, I would like to know more about the insurance policies that you offer. And we hop back to the workflow, and let's say we click on execute workflow. The text classifier basically knows that this email is regarding general inquiries. It labels the email as general inquiry, and you see it labels the email as customer support, and it goes through the next node, which is an AI agent that replies back to the customer. But let's edit some of the info that is here. So from this, body will be this. I'll just put the body, I'll put the subject of the email, and we'll put from our email, and so essentially what we are doing is that it comes from the label as customer support, it comes to the AI agent, which you then feed with the subject of the email and the body of the email and who the email is from. And essentially you are prompting the AI saying you are an expert customer support agent. Your job is to reply to customer emails. Use Pinecone vector store tools to get data from knowledge base to answer the relevant question of customers. And output must be body of email. It does not include subject because it's replying to an email, not writing an email. So you are just basically prompting the AI on tonality and how you should output the data. So you connect it to Pinecone vector store with OpenAI embedding. Pinecone vector store is where we insert the knowledge base about the business, so the AI agents can retrieve answers to be able to reply back to the customer. So when we run this node, the AI agent comes with an output based on the already given information. And then we come to the next node, which is the reply to customer node, Gmail node. We of course map in the message ID so that it knows the message that is responding to, and we select text, and literally we map in this output into here. So the output is, dear Samuel, thank you for reaching out to us with your inquiry about the insurance policies we offer. We provide a wide range of insurance products. Basically lists everything that they have to offer and any additional info. And then when you execute step, boom, you already see that a response has been sent back to the customer. So let's see if we refresh this. Boom, so you can see the earliest message that came in from the AI agent. So it basically gave a response letting them know about the services that they offer, and signing off, best regards, your name. You can, for this best regards, your name, you can also edit it in the AI agent, just telling it to sign off as the company name and all of that. Essentially what you have now is that you've built a workflow that can handle claim intake and applications, and also extract valuable information about the customer to be able to save to spreadsheets and to save to the database. Also handling customer support enquiries, basically repetitive questions that customer ask. Instead of your team having to spend hours having to respond to emails, extract the right information, saving it to sheets, and notifying the team, this workflow has done it in less than 10 seconds. From running the workflow, from the beginning to end of sending it back to the customer, extracting the info, all this is done in 10 seconds. So it gives whoever is in charge of handling customer support, gives them time to be able to handle other aspects of customer experience that benefit the company and increases revenue, rather than having to handle repetitive workflows like this in insurance businesses. If you like to have a custom workflow built for your business use case, just click the link in the description. Thanks for watching. Click on the like button, the subscribe button if you love the content, and to see more workflows and more builds like this and use cases, just click on the like button and subscribe to the channel. See you guys on the next video.